Today, I have the privilege of interviewing the the president and CEO of the Ronald McDonald House, Pam Comfort. Thank you, Pam, for allowing us to come in here today.
It's my pleasure. Happy to do it.
Good, I'm glad. Pam, I'm just curious, how many houses are there, and are they all run the same way?
So for Ronald McDonald Houses, there are over 330 Ronald McDonald Houses worldwide. When you think about here in the United States, there's 176 Ronald McDonald Houses. Here, the Ronald McDonald House of Delaware, we're house number 137. So I always say we're in the first half of the Ronald McDonald Houses. And the whole history has been one of growth and change for the organization. The first house actually opened up in Philadelphia back in 1974. So, but are they all run the same way? I wouldn't say they're all run the same way, but we all have a very similar mission. We're all here to provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill or injured children. Some of the Ronald McDonald Houses focus on only families that have, their children have cancer. Others are more, we're very broad. We support and take care of families that have, their child has any other kind of medical condition. But what we do have, we have similar mission, taking care of the families. But what's important to know is that each one of the Ronald McDonald Houses, we're our own independent 501c3. So any money that we raise stays here locally. Nothing goes into a global chapter. So, and that's really important for a lot of people that live in this area. They like to know that what they give stays locally, and we take care of the families that need to come to our Ronald McDonald House. But we all have standards that need to be met and similar missions. And globally, we say we never turn anyone away if they can't make a contribution to their stays. There's a lot of commonality.
Yes.
Amongst all the houses.
I know that from
you
here.
know,
Anyway.
right, that's right. You know, right.
I know that from here. What do you think the house provides for our guests?
Well, I think if you look at, physically what it provides, if you think about that first, every family that comes in, they have their own private guest room. And in that guest room, you can have 4 or 5 family members staying at a given time. And each guest room has its own private bathroom, which when Ronald McDonald Houses were first built, they were set up more on a dorm style or like a bed and breakfast, and there was a lot of sharing of the facilities. And we were lucky that our founder, Dora Dukart, knew that really if families were here long term, that having a private restroom facility within the bedroom was really the direction we should go. So that's one of her legacies. So physically, that's what they have. They also are provided meals every single night of the year, breakfast on the weekends. We provide transportation to help families with necessary errands and to getting back and forth across the street to the hospital. At nighttime and during the day, there's all sorts of activities, be it movie night, pet therapy night, ice cream socials, game night, wide variety of things. Those are kind of the physical, tangible things that I see given here. But I think intangibly, it's a whole support network. Only people that are in a similar situation really understand what a family's going through, so they find a whole network with other family members that they can share and learn from them what they're doing to help in the healing process of their child. So that's kind of one of those intangibles, that supportive environment. And some of our families say that's almost even more important than a place to rest their head, is to just find support here.
I think some of the families that are here find such camaraderie with all the other families. They feel like they have somebody to lean on because they're all in the same position. It may not be the same illness, but we're all in that position with them.
And I know as a volunteer you see that a lot. That happening in the dining room over a shared cup of coffee and what they share, because even though their family members back at home or their neighbors might try to understand, until you're really in a similar situation, I think it's really hard to really understand what's happening. So they find that bond with the other families here at the Ronald McDonald House.
Yes. One of the things I'd like to ask you to come across with is, how can people help the Ronald McDonald House?
Oh, how long do you have?
I know, but that's I know. That's for you.
Many, many, many ways. And if you have an idea, run it by us, because you may be able to help with that, and we haven't just thought of it that way. But probably one of the most important things I have to say is financial contributions is a definite way to help. When we say we never turn family away, we do have about a $2 million operating budget. So of course financial contributions are helpful. People can come in and volunteer. They can become one of our great regularly scheduled volunteer and take a shift, and that means supporting the families through giving them tours, making sure their rooms are set up, make sure the kitchen and food products are available for families, just be that friendly, warm ambassador here at the house. And we have shifts 7 days a week from 9 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, so you can come in and help that way. You can bring in a group to cook dinner, and that's cooking a meal for 80, 85 people. You could do a wish list drive, just like what you might need to run your own house, we need it 50 times over here. Yeah. So paper right. towels, cleaning supplies, individually wrapped snacks right. are just a few of those things on the wish list. Mm-hmm. You can come in and plan an activity for our families. You know, plan ice cream social and game night is a way people can come out and help. Plan a holiday activity or party. You know, it's hard to be away from home, especially during the holiday season. We have our holiday workshop, so you can either donate a gift to the holiday workshop or come and volunteer. And what our holiday workshop is, toys are available for parents to come down and pick out several items for their child so that they make sure something's available on their specific yes. holiday. Mm-hmm. They don't have to worry about shopping. You know, plan a fundraiser for mm-hmm. us if you want with a small group. You can come out and maybe read a story to a child. It all depends on how much time you have and what time of day you'd like to be right. here, whether right. you want to interact with families or support more and, you know, some of our special events or administrative needs. So a lot of different ways.
Yes. One of the things I do want to elaborate on for you, because it's important, mm-hmm. that you don't have to put a shift for 3 hours if you can't do it. Right. You don't have to do it once a week. You can do it every other week if it makes it easier for you. Right. You can do it on a weekend, or you can do once a month. You can come here and volunteer mm-hmm. whenever you have that time, mm-hmm. but don't feel that you are being committed to once a week, because it doesn't have to be that way. So right. as uh-huh. many hours as you can give would be very much appreciated of the volunteers. Right. I know, because I'm here and I'm a volunteer. So right. I know that there's many times when I get an email that says we don't have anybody to come in on Saturday at a certain hour, or Sunday, or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. So we do, you know, fill in for people.
Right, so that's a really good point, and that's where kind of we can tailor, you know, to meet your needs and our needs. Right.
And very flexible.
And
so
flexible and work on that.
Makes it much
because
easier.
Really, you know, when you think about what we can do to help, I mean, really our volunteers are our heart and soul of what we do here. So we love our volunteers. They're absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. Couldn't
Approximately
imagine.
How many do we have now?
About 460 regularly scheduled volunteers. And you know how many hours you contribute annually? 29,000 hours.
Wow.
That's a lot of time.
And
that's not counting our, what we call our kind of done in a day episodic type volunteers. That's another 3,000 or so that come through throughout the year to help us out. So there's a place for everyone.
There's a place somewhere here
right.
for you. Just
right.
join us.
Yes, love to have you.
I know we have quite a few fundraisers at
yes.
the Ronald McDonald House.
Uh-huh.
Which ones do you have that are, you know, the most important? They're all important,
right?
But the most money
probably
makers
our larger ones,
yeah.
the biggest money makers.
Yeah.
So we run about 8 fundraisers. Probably our 3 largest would be our American Girl Fashion Show and Tea,
yes,
which we hold in the March time frame. It's held down at Chase Riverfront Center, and it's a fashion show connected with the American Girl doll and their current dolls of today fashions and historic fashion. About 2,000 people or so come through and support that over a weekend time period. Another large fundraiser for us is our golf tournament, which we hold out at Wilmington Country Club. And this year, 204 people came out and played golf, had lunch and dinner, and then helped us raise over $120,000 to support the Ronald McDonald House.
That's terrific.
So it was
wow.
really great.
Yeah.
And then one event that I know is really close to your heart,
yes.
and one that we are really working to continue to grow and work on is our 5K that we hold in the springtime in April down at the Chase Riverfront, also on the connected to the Blue Rock Stadium. Yes. That's over 1,000 people. We'd love to be able to hit 2,000 people, and it's a great way to get out and take a walk. And it's also a great way to raise some money, and you can ask people to pledge and be part of your team. And I know, Winnie, you have the Winnie Winners, which is a great team. You all come out with your T-shirts and support the house and get out for a nice 5K walk.
Yeah.
And so we love it. So those are probably 3 of our largest fundraisers, and always a way to, that's another way you can help, is come out and be a part of one of those fundraisers.
Right.
And then we do a variety of smaller other things that people can find out about on our website. But yeah, we have a lot of money to raise in a year. So
yeah, I'm sure we do.
Do it a lot of different ways. So those are probably our 3 top fundraisers.
I also wanted to know, I know that we have a service coming in here that is sent by Goodwill, I understand. How does that work?
Goodwill, another nonprofit, is probably one of the first relationships I worked on when I came 15 years ago, and kind of looked around, and we have janitorial needs here, just in trying to keep the building clean and the guest rooms ready for the next family. And I happen to know people on the Goodwill board and work with Goodwill, and they have a janitorial service. So I said, let's, as good nonprofits, work together. Let's one nonprofit help the other nonprofit meet their goals. So we needed our house cleaned, and I turned to Goodwill, who needed, to employ all of their workers. So it's a great collaboration between the 2 nonprofits. And I keep telling them, you need to use that in your marketing materials. Get the word out to your other nonprofit colleagues, because let's all support one another in what we're trying to do and accomplish. So, and we've been working with Goodwill for 15 years now.
Wow.
So it's been a great partnership, and we love our housekeepers. They become part of our family too, and they do a good job in taking care of our families and the facility here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the questions I get asked a lot about, and I don't really know all the answers to it, what does Ronald McDonald himself have to do with the house? Does he support us?
Yes, they are very supportive. Of course, we couldn't do anything without the support of McDonald's, as well as the local Ronald McDonald House charities. So different ways that they come out and support us, both those 2 groups, is one, when you go in the McDonald's restaurants, and there's a donation box there, and they ask you to drop your coins in there. So that's one way we get a portion of those monies collected, and in an operating grant that comes from our local charities. So that's one great way that they support us, by making that, those funds available to us.
Right.
Another way that they support us is McDonald's, and through all of their relationships, they barter and come up with national relationships. So when you look around our Ronald McDonald House, and we have 50 bedrooms, so that means 100 beds, they're all Tempur-Pedic mattresses. And that's all been negotiated through the relationship through McDonald's and through Ronald McDonald House Charities. So they were all donated to us. Other relationships might be the paint that we have. It's all donated by Benjamin Moore. And again, it's based on the relationship from both our global charities and McDonald's themselves. So there's examples such as that they help with this. What's really neat is they pay all the administrative costs of our global charities office. So in our global charities office, provides us with education, materials, PR assistance, legal assistance. So they're really supporting that global office so that they can come and support all the Ronald McDonald House chapters that we talked about.
Wow.
Sit on our board of directors, sit on our events, and then of course a lot of individual McDonald's owner-operators make financial contributions as well to our organization. So
very good.
Lots of great support from our colleagues and friends at McDonald's. But they do know that the rest of the community needs to also be able to support, because there's no way they could fund a house on their own.
Absolutely not. Sure.
So that's why when a house is built, you have to be able to prove, or when you expand your house, that not only will you have the support of your local McDonald's operators, but you also have the support of the local community, so that it's a true partnership.
You speak about it very well, and I know that you really love it here. You wouldn't be here this long if you didn't.
That's true. I love it here. I do.
It's nice to know that.
Right.
Well, I thank you so much, Pam, for taking the time to let me interview you. It's been a pleasure. You have a lot of knowledge, and I'm glad I found out a lot of things myself that I didn't know. But
thank you for asking me. It was my pleasure.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Maris Grove. I hope you've enjoyed our show. Until we meet again, this is Winnie Meyer, Through the Lens.